Hey guys, you know what's really nice this time of year?
What?
Gifts. You're lucky because we have something for you. Our new sponsor, Deep Creek Glassworks. So you can get ornaments. They have customizable colors and
Shapes?
pattern options. It's pretty much great gifts for anybody if you want like a Pollyanna, Secret Santa, something for the family.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
No, you're getting good quality with the glass. It is definitely, it can withstand curious cats, wagging dog tails, pretty resilient, fast shipping in crush-resistant boxes. So you know your product's going to get there. As an extra bonus to our listeners, you can get 10% off of your purchase by using the promo code SUPERFUN when you go to their website. That's Deep Creek Glassworks, WORX.etsy.com.
Bonus code.
Bonus code.
Bonus code. Welcome to the super fun game review podcast. Go Mega Ultra Between Review Show. Down. Welcome to Mubrs. Mubrs.
That was pretty in sync there.
Yeah, it was. It was.
So I think this is officially going to kick off Season 4.
Yes. We'll have all of our Season 3 wrap-up goodies for you guys in the next couple months. We've all been really busy. There's a lot of life events going on with every single person on the podcast, so we're a little late with our delivery of our Season 3, clip show. Probably do another drunk episode.
Yeah. Just to be completely transparent with our listeners, we all kind of took a hiatus from the show and had a backlog of episodes to release.
Right.
But we should be coming back full force after the holidays.
Yeah, and for anyone that listens concurrently with our releases, you'll notice that we have now switched our format to go one Mubrs a month and one review episode a month. What we're going to actually try to do is expand the Mubrs to be a little bit longer going forward. It won't be this episode, but we are going to start kicking off a longer, more variety show type.
Yeah, a little bit harder formatted.
Yeah.
But no, I think we're all on board for going forward with that plan.
Yep. So look for that. So there's going to be some changes to the podcast, and hopefully it's just going to deliver better content for both the review episodes and the Mubrs going forward. So Mubrs will hit a little bit of everything as opposed to hitting one topic, over the course of a couple episodes.
Terrific. Just to keep you in the loop, we do have a couple new Patreon donors. We're going to give a shout out to them on our next episode.
All right.
So super excited about that one. Super fun excited. Well, cool. Well, let's kick it off with the traditional Mubbers.
We are going to hit up a traditional Mubbers.
Ooh, Clarke and Harry style.
I actually haven't been on the podcast in a while. I've just, I've been really busy with work, and it's just kind of kept me out of the loop here for a little. It's a rare morning episode.
Yeah.
Yeah. It actually seems like you and I, when we do our episodes, they're usually typically like mornings because, we're adults with 9 to 5.
Yeah. Oh, boy.
So, what have you been playing, Harry?
Ooh,
Other than our Overcooked adventure last night, which was fucking
We
awesome.
should talk about that together when we get there.
Yeah.
So I'll talk about 2 other games that I've sunk quite a bit of time into in the last couple months.
All right, let's hear it.
First one that I'm probably going to elaborate on the most is State of Decay 2.
Yes, you've been telling me a lot about this.
I was so hyped for this game when I first heard that it was coming out, just because I love the first one. But I did have some gripes with the first one. That persistent world was a pain in the dick. Whenever you log off, if I just wanted to go make a sandwich real quick, I'd log off for 5 minutes, grab a sandwich, log back on. And this was after maybe 8 hours straight playing the game, because that's the only way I played State of Decay was just long sessions. But you come back 5 minutes later, log back on, and the world is in chaos. You left it completely organized, no problems or anything, and then you come back and it's just 3 people are missing, your fort's being attacked, somebody just got murdered. It's just, it was so frustrating that things could happen in the game that you had no control over.
I don't personally have a problem with persistent world stuff, but it needs to make sense in a persistent world. Like you shouldn't walk away for 45 minutes and then everything that you've worked on for the last 8 hours is all fucked.
Yeah.
Like that's not a good persistent world. I had a problem with that too, where I was like, okay, it's like essentially in my mind, I'm going to just walk into a fucking weird ass scenario anytime you log on. And for me, I never took like little short breaks. I always would give it like a day or two because I knew I was just going to come back and people were going to be dead. I was like, this is just how State of Decay works.
Yeah. But no, I enjoyed the concept behind it. Like building your base, recruiting survivors, gathering supplies, managing those supplies. Like that feels very zombie survival, like a niche little market that nobody has ever touched before. So I highly praise the company for diving in and creating some new concept on the market. So, State of Decay 2 comes along. I think I missed the release by a year. I didn't have the hardware on my PC, and then I went through that whole ordeal trying to get a video card installed on my computer, and that was just a fucking mess, and not knowing what the hell I'm doing, and sending pictures, and getting feedback, and talking to reps at the store. And
for anyone that knows what Harry had to go through, he bought a pre-built computer and then decided to add a graphics card after, and that is always a fucking nightmare.
Yeah.
It's always a nightmare. I mean, thankfully, you have Joe and I to kind of like steer you in the right direction for certain stuff.
Yeah, it's just so frustrating because when I talk to like tech representatives at a store or something asking about, oh, hey, this is what I have, how do I install it? They're just like rambling off terms I've never heard of, and they expect me to know these things.
Yeah.
And it's like, I'm not in your world.
Well,
I don't know.
Well, PC hobbyist and being a hobbyist in the PC world is really tough because there's a high level of entry. So like you have to spend a lot of money to be in that world, and then also if you don't know what the fuck you're doing, you can easily like destroy $1,000 pretty quickly.
Yeah. Anyway, so I got that up and running. Now that we can talk about the game portion of it.
Yeah.
State of Decay 2 is a lot more polished than the first one. Graphically, it looks better. And there's a lot of things it excels at. I'll focus on those first. Number one, the AI is not retarded in any sense.
Say that again.
Oh, yeah, you're right. The AI is a lot better than the first game. They're
not fucking dummies? You mean?
Yeah, they're not fucking dummies.
Fucking dummies.
The persistent world is gone. So when you log off, and then log back on, you're logging on basically exactly where you left off. You're not getting slammed with the timed missions as harshly as the first one, because I know that was a constant race. So you're trying to get done these missions, and you're watching the timer go down on another mission that's in the sequence. Do you remember that?
Yeah,
from the first one?
it's a little less Dead Rising. Because Dead Rising,
Yes.
you're always like, you have to manage like 4 or 5 missions at any given time.
Exactly. The first State of Decay was kind of like that.
Yeah,
And
where you kind of need to do pieces of a few of them to kind of like get to where you can like execute a bunch of them all in one shot.
Yeah,
or,
something like that.
Yeah.
So it's there's still that a little bit. You'll have missions that are timed, but they're a little bit more forgiving than the first game. They give you a little bit more cushion of time if you need to stop off at the base and run to another one. You can ignore certain ones, and it's not going to penalize you. You're allowed, I think it's up to like 14 different other bases on the map at any time, or enclaves is what they call them. Like different groups of survivors that, hey, these are these guys, and you can have a total of like 14, I think, on each map. So if you screw one up and they become hostile towards you, wait until they die off, go out and kill them, whatever, and then it opens up another slot for another one. You can radio in for more help. So the long-term game, you don't have to worry about getting every mission done. Just focus on certain ones. What other things does it excel at? It's not...
How's the combat?
Pretty similar to the first one.
Is it still terrifying to get like caught by a special in the world just randomly?
Not as terrifying. They're more manageable. Like, and what you
see, I that was something that I really liked about the first one, because like you could be out in the world and then all of a sudden you just see one of those tank guys and you're like, I have to run.
Yeah, they're See, what helps in this game, too, and this is something I always do, you can take an ally with you every time. You don't have to go out in the world solo.
Oh, that's cool.
So you grab somebody else from the group, which doubles your carrying capacity as well. So whenever you're out looting somewhere, you can just switch to the other character and continue looting as soon as that character's full. You don't have to just run back to base and dump your shit, which is really nice. So when you do get caught off guard, let's say you're reloading a gun, you have somebody else already hacking away at zombies that might be closing in on you, or so you're typically double teaming the special.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So
That's what makes it easier. If you do go out solo, you're facing the same threat as in the first game. So if you want to play on hard mode, by all means, just go out solo.
Solo, yeah.
So that option is there for you. Funny little story about the special. My car ran out of gas the one day, and the spot it broke down, there was a horde. So we were running from the horde because there was just too many of them. And we were just trying to run back to the base. It was like a couple miles away. And then one of the big Billy guys, the I forget what the hell they're called.
They're essentially the tank.
Yeah.
Right.
One of those came up and they were chasing us down the road. And we were trying to hack zombies and run away from him simultaneously. Long story short, one guy got ripped in half by the big guy.
Yeah.
Just destroyed him. But overall, the game's fun. The bases are awesome, very customizable. A lot more customizable, in my opinion, than the first one.
Yeah, the other one, they just kind of give you slots and you could build within the slots.
Same general concept, but you can add different attributes. Like, for example, in any of the rooms, you can put an armchair. But you have to find it out in the world. You find these accessories you can add on to rooms, like storage crates, shelves, generators, stuff like that to add an extra little bonus to each room. So like the armchair will boost 3 morale on everybody, or the storage totes will allow you to raise your capacity on food at the base by like 5, or stuff like that. They're like minute bonuses, but they're really cool to kind of letting you customize your base a little bit more. Like the fertilizer will let you double down on your food growing capabilities on a particular like stuff like that.
Yeah.
But no, I absolutely love the game. I sunk a ton of hours into it. I beat the game 3 times.
Is there multiplayer?
There is. You can have up to 4-player co-op, and you hop into that person's world. Now you can't go too far away. Like, you guys can't do separate missions or anything.
Yeah.
It pulls you back. It's rubber banding, I guess, in that sense.
Did Joe pick this up? I'm thinking about picking it up so that you and I can play some co-op.
Oh, no, absolutely. It would be fun. And I'd jump into your world. Now, the permadeath still exists. If you bring a character over to somebody else's game and you die in their game, they're still dead from whatever base you brought them from.
Okay. Interesting. Okay.
Yeah, so what I would do is, I think you can have up to 3 save files. Just start 3 bases worth of dudes, so if anybody dies, you have another base you could pull somebody from or something.
Fair enough.
No, my biggest gripe with the game is that there is a cap on your community. This is basically the only thing that has driven me nuts with this game. There's a soft cap of 9, so you can keep recruiting people from your enclaves, from other enclaves that you ally, up until you're at 9 people. And then you can't recruit anybody else. But there's ways around it. For example, there's 4 end mission, like depending on who you make your clan leader, they have different missions that end the game.
Okay.
There's like a builder who wants to build like a really strong base. There's a sheriff who wants to manage everybody and make sure that they're all allies. There's a trader who's built on just trading supplies and creating a trading community. And there's the warlord who wants to just rule over everybody, more or less. But with the builder one, the last mission of the builder, it's about sending people to your community, and you got to pick and choose who you want. So you can get up to the hard cap of 14. Or 12. Or is it 14? It might be 14. I forget. It's 12 or 14.
Either way, yeah.
But that last mission, they force people to come and join your base. So the best way to do it is choose a builder, get your 9 clan members that are really strong beforehand, and then you get like 6 extras that come to your community, and you can pick and choose to polish out those last couple empty slots for the hard cap, and then just cancel the final mission so you don't end the game, and then you can just kind of roll out for like your unlimited run with like the hard cap of 14.
Okay.
So,
Interesting.
But once you lose people after that point, you can't get up to that hard cap of 14 again. So, I don't know. It just drives me nuts because in the first one, you could recruit unlimited amount of people. Granted, you had the resources to support them.
Right.
And I think there should be allowed to, well, how good can I make my base? How many people can I accumulate? I think that would have been a cool aspect of this game. But their ultimate goal was to feel like they wanted you to feel something about these players. And they're like, are you really going to feel something about Jane if you have 40 people in your community?
Right.
So that was their ambition and goal there, just to make you feel more for the characters if they do die or something. So no, overall I love the game. I highly recommend picking it up.
All right. I'll probably give that a download here shortly, and
I think it's pretty cheap too. And
Yeah.
I got some of the DLC. The only one I didn't get was the most recent, which is called Heartland, and it's a story-based mission. So it's not as open. Well, it's open world, but it's more guided than
gotcha.
the base game. But that takes place in the original area from State of Decay 1. Just like I think it's a couple years later, and things are overgrown and stuff.
Interesting.
But you revisit a lot of the same bases, and I think Lily,
that one town.
yeah, like the church.
Yeah.
Like I watched a video on the first game, then compared to the second game, and how these bases look like overgrown, and there's like vines and shit growing through the buildings and stuff
That's
like that.
pretty cool.
Yeah, but yeah, it's a fun game.
All right.
The other game I'll touch on real quick, because I haven't spent as much time with this one, but it's called This War of Mine. I just stumbled across an article it was titled the top 10 greatest indie games of the past decade, and I was just reading through the list, and then I saw this one pop up that was also a survival game, post-apocalyptic kind of thing. You're stuck in a war zone, and it's all about trying to survive until the war is over, and you're gathering supplies and again, kind of building up a base, recruiting members. I like this type of game. But it's all side-scrolling, but it's all in...
Harry's going to become a doomsday prepper
yeah.
later in life.
Did you ever see that show?
Yeah.
It's fucking ridiculous.
Yeah, it is.
But it's cool, but, like, there's a lot of situations where there's, like, can you help me save my father? He's bleeding out and stuff like that. And it's like, do you give over the bandages that are really hard to come by, or do you just let him die? Or I have no food and all my guys at my base are starving. Do I steal from this other community and let them starve to death? Like, there's a lot of tough decisions.
Okay.
It's a little bit more moral based than State of Decay. It just puts you in a lot of scenarios and situations, and you got to kind of decide how are you going to handle this.
So you steal from everybody. Your ultimate survival.
No, I save that for the end. I try to wait until I get closer to winter when I know food is going to be scarce, and then I start stealing.
Okay.
But
have you beaten it? Is it like round based? How is it?
It's based on days.
Okay.
So a typical run, it could run anywhere from 20 to like 60 days before the war ends. You don't know. It's a hidden number beforehand.
So what I'm saying is there's multiple wars. So like you're like you're playing it in like waves, right? Or is the like
it's in a day and night cycle.
No. I mean, like, is one playthrough of that game one war?
Correct.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
But so during the day is when you're doing stuff around the house, building new attributes to the house, setting traps for rats because that's a food source, growing carrots or something in your garden, building a furnace, beds
For the rats.
yeah, I'm building a furnace for the rats. But and like traders will come to your house and you're like, oh, I'll give you 10 logs for
a bullet for all of your stuff. Delivered high speed through your fucking eye socket.
But it's all timer. Like it's on a timer. You have like 10 minutes when you're in your home base, and then like 10 minutes when you're on your night run. And you send like a scavenger, and you set people to guard your house, and people will raid your house while you're out scavenging and shit.
Is there any combat?
Yes, it's it's pretty simple combat. You're just like clicking on a person and whatever weapon you have equipped.
You're just beating them with it.
There's a little stealth aspect to it. Like you want to walk slow, especially if you're trying to steal from somebody. They hear creaking floorboards and they can see through open doors. So you got to close doors behind you if you want to sneak around. The color scheme. This is what caught my eye. The art style of this game. It's all like detailed, like a pencil drawing.
Oh, okay. So it's like animated.
Yeah, take a look graphically. Especially the backgrounds look more than the foreground, but it's all black and white for the most part. There's some color, but they wanted to make it feel like kind of drowned out. But yeah, no, just watch like a quick video on it or trailer for it. It's a really cool concept of a game.
Okay. Yeah, I'll definitely have to check that out.
But yeah, no, I'll take a breath here and I'll pass it off to you on what you've been playing recently.
Oh man, I've been playing like a handful of games. So recently on Black Friday, I got a PlayStation VR, so I've been checking out a bunch of different titles there. Trover Saves the Universe is a fucking great game. It's from the creators of Rick and Morty. So they got to create a video game and not have Rick and Morty in it, so they're not chained to that. It's the same humor, though, and it's all the same voices from Rick and Morty. So, like, Trover is Morty, and, like, his boss is Rick. And it's the same fucking humor. Like, there was this guy that was talking to me, and you control Trover. So it's in VR, so you're like sitting on a chair in the VR game, and then you're controlling on the screen Trover as he's like walking around the foreground and background of what you're viewing. So it's like kind of like a platformer.
Okay.
In VR, which is kind of interesting. So, as you're controlling Trover, he's like, I'm getting real sick of this guy. Oh shit, I have a sword. And he just like pulls out a fucking lightsaber. So then I like hit him a few times because Trover's like, oh, hit him a few times. He'll shut the fuck up so we can go. Almost an exact quote for literally what he says. He's like, and it hits him a few times. And the guy like falls off his chair and he's like getting back up on his chair. And I was like, I wonder what happens if I just keep hitting him. And I start wailing on him, and then all of a sudden Trover is just like, I think I'm killing him. I think I'm killing him. He's dead. Fuck, we gotta go. We fucking killed that guy. I fucking killed a guy. Oh shit, I fucking killed it. Like, and it's all in Morty's voice, and it's fucking great. Like, I was laughing so fucking hard. I'm like 20 minutes into the fucking game. Like, it's just fucking hilarious. Like, so I've been playing a bunch of different stuff. I've been playing Beat Saber. Beat Saber's incredible. Like, if you ever like loved like DDR, it's DDR with lightsabers in your hands, and you're like, you know, just like great fucking soundtrack and techno music. I finally fucking got Super Hot VR. It's the whole reason that I built my fucking computer, and then I ended up buying a PSVR. But like, Super Hot VR is fucking incredible. You feel like a badass, like going through the little arenas and like killing and like feeling like John Wick, essentially.
Oh, okay.
And then the other one is I Expect You to Die, which is like it's kind of like mini escape rooms, just over and over and over again. You're like trying to figure out with the clues in the room how to like accomplish your mission and then leave. The veil of it is that you're a spy. So
Okay.
They're like, oh, like, we need you to, like, get out of this car. It's really cool, and it's very, very, like, immersive. So, like, you have to roll down the window, but there's poisonous gas outside, so you have to, like, quick grab a screwdriver, roll the window back up, and, like, undo these two buttons, which allows an ejector seat. And once you hit the ejector seat, it fucking pushes out the back of a plane. You're in a car in a plane. Like, it's just like, it's really weird. It's very, very fun. Like, I spent like, you know, probably like $150 on different fucking VR games in the last couple weeks, just because I just want to check everything out.
Yeah.
Blood and Truth is fucking awesome too. Like that's like a serious like fucking shooter game. And it's kind of like Time Crisis, where they move you from spot to spot, and then it's just an arena shooter. It's really fucking cool though, and you can like pick, like you can actually like point, and then you click, and then your character walks to that, and you're doing it as you're, you know, like in the VR headset. So it's really cool. So it does give you some leeway to move around your environment as well.
Okay.
Like get different angles on things and stuff like that.
So I have a couple VR games if you wanted to borrow as well.
Yeah, dude, I totally. The other game, I've been playing 2 other games I just want to touch on briefly. I've been playing Star Wars Fallen Order, which is essentially Star Wars and Bloodborne mixed. It's really fucking cool. You know, that's all I'm really going to say about it right now. I've spent maybe like 4 or 5 hours in the game. It's a pretty long game, so I don't really have a lot to say about it other than like everything feels really good. And it feels like a little bit of that Bloodborne and a little bit of that Dark Souls, but it's also got like that Star Wars flavor that I really like. And then I've been playing Death Stranding, which should surprise no one. If you've listened to the podcast, you know how much I love Hideo Kojima, and I think it's one of the weirdest and more interesting games that I think I've ever played. A lot of media outlets like to like, and a lot like the whole meme is like, oh, it's a walking simulator. It is like not that at all. Like, yes, getting to point A to point B is the mission in that, but if you distill that down in any game, that's what it is.
Yeah.
It's so fucking weird. It's just a weird, incredible experience, and like the graphics are amazing, and just like everything about it is like done so fucking well.
Just real quick question about it, though, because it has gained a lot of attention one way or the other.
Yeah,
but nobody has really said whether or not it's fun. They say it's interesting or cool looking, or
I think it's fun. I honestly, I think trying to like stack up like all of these different things that you're finding in the wild that other people that have played the game have left there, and trying to take them and then deliver them. The whole idea of it being a Strand game that not a lot of people realize is like, we're all playing this game at the same time. So, Harry, you and I are friends on PlayStation. If you and I are playing the game and I drop cargo somewhere, I die, something like that, it stays there. And then if you and I link up at any one point, like if any time our servers cross in PlayStation, there's no way to force it or anything like that. It kind of leaves it up to like universal chance, which I think is interesting. But if our servers cross at one point, you'll see the package that I dropped, and then you can pick it up and deliver it, and then we both gain something from that.
Okay.
It's really...
Now, would you still gain something if a random picked it up and delivered it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Where everyone's helping each other. Like, if you go to the subreddit for Death Stranding, there's people that have built entire highways in Death Stranding. And like people are like driving cars across the fucking because you're going across the country. It's a very like it's a distilled version of the country.
Okay.
So like as you go, you're like walking from East Coast to West Coast.
Okay.
It's really fucking cool. I like, yeah, pulling out a fucking ladder and like dropping it over the edge of a cliff until you're doing it seems dumb, but like when you fucking drop a ladder over the cliff and you like get across and you're like, holy shit, like this is gonna give me like more stuff. You get a rating for every delivery, and like if you like that sort of thing, if you like micromanaging a few systems to do that kind of stuff, it's an incredible experience. I've had so much fucking fun with it. Like, I'm probably going to get a Death Stranding tattoo at this point. Like, something from that game is going to end up on my gamer leg sleeve. Like, it's going to happen. It's probably going to be a BB pod.
An umbilical cord?
No, a BB pod.
Is it the baby pod?
Yeah. BB.
BB.
That's what they're called. They're called BB.
Got it.
Yeah.
What purpose do they serve?
They're halfway between life and death, so they allow you to. They react to those like phantom creatures, so that you can avoid them, and you need them to survive. If you get caught by one of those and your like BB's like not operational or you're having some issues, you die and you leave a fucking crater in your world that you'll have to traverse through again. It's very complex, and again, I still don't have a full understanding of what's going on because I'm only maybe like 15 hours into that. People are saying you can average and you can get through the game in like 25, or you can like try to learn everything that you want about that game, and it can be a 100-hour experience. And that's like, I'm trending more towards that 100-hour experience. I'm trying to like figure everything out. I'm trying to explore. It's dangerous to explore. Interactions with the BTs, which are the phantom creatures, are actually like legitimately terrifying and stressful. Like, you like BB will start crying and you have to like shush it. Like, you have to actually like look down and then like you interact with it, and you can like you rock your controller to like try to soothe BB. There's a lot more interaction with your controller and the character, and like you're doing the motions that like your character's doing. Again, not VR. Like, but like it's very immersive.
Okay.
For a game like that. I'm sorry. I know I'm getting rambly. But
No,
like,
you're fine. You're fine.
It is actually a very fantastically done game. I think, like, whether it's funny because you're right. Like, the internet, people are either like, oh, it's dumb walking simulator, or people are like, this is a fucking masterpiece and like a defining moment for video games. I am actually leaning more towards the definitive moment for video games.
Well, it just seems like there's no middle ground on the internet with it. It's love it or hate it kind of thing.
Because some people only play games for the gameplay, and if you're not into that gameplay, I could see how you hate it. But like, if you're there for an experience and like some weird fucking sci-fi story, it has all of that in fucking spades. Yeah, I think Death Stranding is incredible.
Okay, fair enough.
So yeah, I think we could just wrap it up there.
Ooh,
unless you got. Oh yeah, that's right.
Ooh.
We got a little something else cooking here.
Yeah. Clark, would you mind hitting that fucking music? Oh, by the way, if you could, just because I listened to some of the ones before, just cut it like right after that. It looks like it sounds like we're fumbling around looking for a button.
Fuck you! Let's hear it, Harry.
It's a nice short one this week.
All right.
5-star review.
5-star review.
They know how to handle my meat. Every time I head there... Oh, hold on. Let me start over. They know how to handle my meat. Oh, man.
Go ahead. Say it a third time.
No.
They know how to handle my meat.
Starting over.
This is so staying in. They know how to. They know how to
handle my meat. Every time I head there, my pants tighten. With money that I have packed in my pockets, it just hits you in the face. You know that raunchy smell of fresh meat? How do you like to take your meat? Raw, thick, uncut even? They'll always service you to your preference, leaving you completely satisfied and begging for more. Carl Vanezia at Fresh Meat, celebrating oral tradition since 1943. We're talking about penises. That has been your 5-star Yelp review.
I cringe so hard. And you leave the podcast logo on Yelp.
Yeah.
If just suddenly podcasts stop and the last post on our Facebook is like, oh, we fucked up, it's because we're getting sued by either Yelp or one of these companies.
They're getting 5 stars.
Yeah, you give them 5 stars. Fuck it.
And I'm promoting Yelp on the podcast.
True.
They can go fuck themselves. Who's going to sue us?
And these companies. You're giving shout-outs to these companies, too. Whoever the oral meat guy was. I don't remember.
Carl Venezia's Meats.
Oh, okay. All right, guys. thank you for joining us, and tune in for our next episode. Man, I'm a down.
Madame.
Man, I'm a down.